Hmm. This will be very, very interesting. Let's fight. Hello there, folks. Halfma here, and I truly hope you're having a lovely day. We're playing Rome 2 DEI as Macedon. This is a fourth battle in which we are outnumbered 3-1. Enemies have about 11,000 men, while we have about 3,000. And this is the first time we have a really good enemy armies ahead of us. This will be Greek on Greek. We're playing as Macedon. This is Knossos. And, well, Cretians are really good. They have, of course, heavy hoplites. They have heavy Macedonian cavalry. They have a lot of lighter troops. They have Rhodean slingers and Cretan archers. They even have their own pikemen. So this will be a true challenge. And our army consists of 6 units of Torx pikemen. These guys are amazing. They have armor of 48, believe it or not. That's truly insane. And this is going to save our skin today. Then we have 4 of these guys, Torx spearmen. Then we have 4 Therios spears. These are our lighter troops. They are meant to kind of follow our cavalry and protect them from enemy cavalry. We have 5 of these guys. These are Tarentine cavalry. They're light to medium cavalry. They have some armor. They're skirmishing cav. They're super fast, and they're really good at the rear charging. But this is not something that you're going to use for like frontline combat. And of course, we have our Grey General, which is Late Secret Squadron. It's a melee cav, and our general will do a lot of fighting today. But before we start, let's just quickly analyze the situation. So we have initial enemy army coming from this direction. We have 2 of the barricades on this side and this side. We have our phalangites here. They're gonna be forming a line, and we are hoping that enemies will be focusing on these 2 instead of the central one, but we'll see if that will work. On the other side, we have no other troops in the fort. The reason for it, because enemies have excellent skirmishers, and we're gonna try to stay away from their range. This is why I have these guys here being protected by the palisade. And enemy reinforcements will come from this direction, but let's actually start. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about the enemy's composition. We can see heavy hoplites in the center. We can see some Greek infantry, which is sword-based infantry on the flanks. And we can see Cretans and Rhodean slingers here as well. They have a lot of cav as well, so this will not be easy. The reason why we're positioned so way back is not to encourage the enemy to actually come after us on the flanks. So we want to present a very unified target here, and we have barricades to prevent the enemy from outflanking us. Let us check here. They have citizen cavalry. This is a really good unit. 33 armor, 9 melee attack, and 16 melee defense. Really, really good unit. We have some additional caltrops here that should kill some of their cav, and they're getting engaged here by our phalangites. It's super important to get rid of their cavalry early on. And we can see enemies are coming from the other side. There's a lot of cav, and the cav will be the first one to reach us. Their goal here would be to kind of get to our army in the back and prevent our army from actually flanking their charging force here. But what is happening that their Cretans and Rhodeans are actually focusing our central phalangites here. These guys have 48 armor, as I mentioned before, but if they're even protected by the barricade, the problem is that they're getting peppered by so many different types of arrows and rocks, and these are like even javelin men. They have like light cav also firing, so these guys are going to take some heavy casualties. They're all bloody. Look at the number of Pilla that got stuck here. These guys are really getting wrecked now. But a lot of things are happening, as you can see, their cavalry's moving in here. This is where we decide that we're gonna use our spearmen to form a line, and we're gonna bait and switch with our cavalry. They're gonna be looking for our cav, and we're just gonna try to retreat with our cav while fronting them as the spears. Let's see if we can pull it off, actually. And I believe here I turn off fire at will for my cavalry. And this is exactly what happened. Instead of getting our general, they're getting our spearmen. We're still reluctant to get inside of the fort because of the advantage they have in skirmishers. And you can see that Rodian slingers are moving in as well. These guys are taking a beating. Like, they lost almost 100 men so far just from arrows. These are shield bearers. They're some of the best hoplites in the game. And yeah, Cretians here are doing a great job. We are actually transferring our cav to the left flank here. And we're waiting for the enemy cav to commit, so we can charge them on the flanks or the rear. This citizen cav unit will be charged by our general. They managed to charge back, but I'm not sure if that would be enough for them. We're trying to be a bit more aggressive with our spears, because spearmen are meant to deal with enemy cavalry. And oh yeah, these guys are starting to break. Their Terios cavalry, these guys are basically running out of ammo, and they're going to be charging in as well. I realized that our front here is in peril, that these guys are likely to be broken by enemy archer fire, so we are pushing another unit to reinforce the entry. And you can see how they're being welcomed by enemy archers and Rodian slingers. But luckily we were able to deal with enemy cavalry. Pretty much so. They're still gonna have some cav here left. Well, now they're throwing their spears, pardon me. These are Terios swordsmen, not Terios spearmen. And they're very fast. They actually have speed of 4. They have really bad armor of 8. But we're gonna try to flank them with our cav right now and see if we can catch them. On this side, we're kind of running out of time, and the reason for it is that we are being pressured by the bulk of the enemy heavy armies here. They're moving their phalangites as well. Look at these bad boys. They look great. So this is a major army, and it's really scary because bulk of our phalangites are defending from the original army. And now we can see that we are catching up with those guys. They're trying to run away, but you cannot really run away from cav, especially not the light cav. And we're trying to decide what to do on this side because we cannot really get inside. We can see that their Rodians are actually firing at our phalangites from the back. So I'm trying to fall back here if I can. But we kind of have to defend the fort. We cannot really allow the enemy to engage us here on the open front because we are being outnumbered big time. And here we were able to push them back somewhat, but they're still persistent. They're still pushing in. Good thing is that we managed to destroy their cav. So we're trying to mop up these guys, and then we're going to see what we can do. We have some of our guys in a really bad position. These Torx spearmen are really good, but they're overly exposed here. There is no way we can get them here, and there is no way we can get into the fort because of the barricades. These guys are really making our life miserable here with their fire. They have insane range as well as armor piercing. So I decided that enough was enough. I'm going to risk my phalangites, and we're going to prevent the enemy from actually entering the fort on this side. Well, not really opening up the entire front to the enemy. So we're going to retreat with other spearmen, where our phalangites will be in charge of basically holding this line. And I also ordered these guys to get inside. The problem was that they kind of glitched out and decided to go on this side. But because of the barricades, we had to give up. So they will be defending this section. And our pikemen will be defending this section, but you can see immediately as they're coming in, they're being greeted by enemy archer fire. This is a very, very scary force. Good thing that these guys are tired. They've been running for kilometers before the battle. We're going to be reforming our defensive line here, and we're going to use our cavalry to go to the enemy rear. These guys will be forming on this side as well. Our lighter troops in Teria Spears will be further back. Well, our heavier troops in Torok Spearmen will be fronting the enemy. One of their Hoplite units was broken. But guys, remember that this is actually a campaign, and it will be very important to chase down the running enemy. If we can kill them here, we don't have to fight them again. So the goal of these guys will be not only to kill these guys, but also to chase after the enemies. And now their skirmishers are kind of switching targets. They're targeting our general. Luckily for us, our general has a heck of a lot of armor, is 47. And let's observe the charges of our cavalry here. And really great work by our general. We're putting a lot of pressure on them. And they're starting to break. They're tired. They have their lighter troops here. And yeah, they're going to get flanked. On this side, our spearmen are getting engaged by their shield bearers, which is really bad. They're hitting them in the flank. And I'm trying to protect those shield bearers if I can with those guys. On this flank, their phalangites are actually getting into position. I think that our phalangites are slightly superior to theirs, but they have 4, we have only 2. And our guys took some archer fire before getting into position, so they're going to be weakened. And there are a lot of these guys. You can see so many of their heavy infantry is here. Let's turn this off and see that enemies are routing big time. There is almost nothing remaining of the initial army. They still have some Rodan slingers, but they're going to be breaking soon because everybody's breaking, so it's kind of a chain reaction here. And our cavalry will be tasked with supporting our infantry elsewhere, but also chasing down fleeing enemies. And you can see that their cav is also wreaking havoc everywhere. They're rear charging our guys as well, so this is the time to activate our Terreo spears and try to chase after the enemy cav. Well, their cavalry is trying to pull through, of course, avoiding our spears. It's a complete annihilation of the enemy. Our general did a great job so far, over 600 kills. Well, these phalangites had like 550. Really amazing. This is why phalangites are so good in this game. They're not great when it comes to offensive actions, but defensively they are great. And these guys are being flanked big time by better and more numerous enemy. Here, we are trying to charge their rear, and you can see that they're positioning to fight off our own phalangites, and it's a major battle. When it comes to the entrance, we're exchanging our cuirasses left and right. There's a lot of blood predominantly in our units, so we are suffering casualties, that's for sure. And the job of these guys would be to kind of swing over and hit them in the rear. Because they are already exhausted, they're likely to break, or more likely to break. On this side, we were fighting their cav, and we're hoping to win, but our cav is also tired. One of the problems with lighter cav is that they're not going to do much damage when rear charging because of their fatigue. So it's a major issue here. We're repositioning our pikemen to protect the flank of this unit if they can, because this unit cannot easily retreat. It's a major problem here. We're being more aggressive on this side. And it's kind of paying off here. Well, they have their own Tyria swords, and they're better than our Tyria spears. But the goal of these guys is just to buy us some time to engage the enemy, so our guys from this side can actually flank them. And our cavalry's everywhere. We're basically chasing down all of their lighter troops. They're difficult to catch just because of their speed. Here we can see that one of our Hippeas is getting charged by enemy Greek cavalry, which is not great. We're trying to reorganize with our general and basically charge back while avoiding enemy skirmishers. These are, again, Rhodeans. They're really, really good. They can do a lot of harm. If you allow them to fire at you, they can cause substantial casualties, and we are rear charging these guys. But this wasn't a clean charge, and these guys will continue to fight for quite some time. Well, bulk of their army here broke. They still are dangerous. They still have a lot of heavy troops here. Well, on the flank, they are kind of winning. The good thing is they did not engage us properly, and they have 3 of their units fighting 1 of ours without really flanking too hard. There's additional cavalry exchange here. We're charging them slowly. Their cavalry is really beaten up, and they have they're very tired, basically. It's one of the biggest issues here for our cavalry and their cavalry, just because guys are rear charging everywhere. These guys are rear charging, but the enemies were able to kind of turn and face the charge, and now you can see our numbers dropping here big time. As I said, Tarantine cavalry is not really meant to fight frontally, especially not against heavy hoplites, and they're gonna take some heavy casualties here before I manage to pull them back. But they managed to buy some time for this unit to survive and run away. So their sacrifice is not in vain. Let's put it that way. Now the third army is coming in, and this is another challenge for us because our guys are everywhere, and we're kind of tired, as I mentioned before. We're trying to catch them and destroy them before they can recover. This was a really nice charge here, though. Much better with our Tarantines. We managed to break this unit here. Just not gonna get easy. We have Tyria spears. Their job would be to kind of block their additional troops coming in. Yeah, those guys stayed a bit too long, and now they also lost so many men. It's not easy to charge hoplites. Our general now is rear charging, though. This should be okay. We're getting some buffs on this side. They are getting broken here and completely lost this side. So what we're gonna try to do is to meet the enemy threat here, or try to flank those guys as well. We have 2 options. Here, some of their troops are starting to flee due to the exhaustion and casualties sustained. But as we said before, it's not really easy for us because they have this unit. These are shield bearers, and as you can tell, they're absolutely amazing. They're the ones to destroy our heavy Hoplite unit here. Our Phalangites are slowly getting out of the fortress, and they should be getting into new positions here. Well, our Tornado Spears are getting flanked by the enemy. So we really need to think about what to do now. We have one of our Tarantine cavalry units here. Again, they're also very tired. We're rear charging here. We're putting a lot of pressure on their Hoplites, but they still have 3 healthy units here. And they're entering the fort. We have to prevent them from actually capturing the fort. And this is where we're facing them with our beaten up unit. These are the guys that ate all the ammunition. They were here. They were wrecked by enemy slingers and beaten archers. So we're gonna be fighting here. A really bad fight for them. Just because we're not able to form a proper phalanx formation because we don't have enough troops, and these guys are super heavy, so they're gonna have major advantage when it comes to melee fight. On this side, our cavalry is actually pushing in, and they now have a lot of these guys. Greek archers, they have, again, Rhodean slingers, they create Cretan archers, a lot of lighter Hoplites, Greek militia. But still, these guys are getting wrecked here because they are surrounded. And now we're using the last bit of energy our cav has, and we're going to try to put a lot of pressure on those. Well, here, we're trying to break those guys, but again, our cavalry is exhausted, and these are light horse. Here, we can clearly see the casualties. We took about 12 to 1,300 casualties. Well, the enemies took a heck of a lot, almost 10,000. And we almost completely annihilated them, even though we did not kill exactly the clear number, the total number of their troops. They only going to have 1 general left. All other troops will be absolutely destroyed in this battle. So this was a very, very important victory for us because this allowed us to use the other army to go after Rhodes. And I hope you guys like these types of analysis. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any things that you didn't like about the video, also let me know. Consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. And see you next time. Bye-bye for now.